If you keep sitting down at the piano, starting at the beginning of your piece, and just playing all the way through it, this video is for you. One of the biggest mistakes that I see adult pianists make is confusing playing through a piece with actually practicing the piece. And I get why this happens. I mean, playing through, it feels productive, it feels musical, and it feels like you're spending some real good time with the piece. But honestly, a lot of the time, what's actually happening is that you're reinforcing some instability. You're rushing through the weak spots. You're glossing over some pretty important details. And basically, you're training yourself just to survive the piece instead of actually improving it. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to use this passage today from Schumann's Aufschwung because this is the type of repertoire that actually creates exactly this problem. See, it's exciting music. It's really dramatic, and it's easy to let the momentum just take yourself forward and think that it's the same thing as control. So let's say that I sit down and do what a lot of pianists do, which is that I start playing. Now, maybe that sounded okay on the surface. I mean, maybe it actually sounded kind of convincing in certain places. But if I'm really being honest, that was not very useful practice. Why? Well, because I didn't actually stop when things started to slip. I didn't define what I was actually trying to improve, nor I didn't slow down to try to change anything. I just kind of kept going. And that's the trap, right? I mean, a lot of pianists, they think, well, I played it, so I practiced it. But playing is not the same thing as practicing. See, practicing, it means that we're identifying a problem, we're isolating it, and then we're working on it in a way that actually gives you a shot at changing it. So let me show you what that kind of looks like instead. I'm going to take the same passage, but just use a smaller chunk of it. Instead of running through the whole thing, I'm going to ask a more useful question here. What is actually breaking down in this part of the phrase? Is it the rhythm? Is it rushing? Is it some unevenness between the hands? Maybe it's some physical tension that I'm carrying. Or is it just that I'm not organized from one gesture to the next? For this example, let's say the real issue is that the energy of the passage is causing me to rush, and it's kind of causing me to skim over the shape. So instead of playing through it, I'm going to reduce the task. I'm just going to play a smaller chunk, and I'm going to slow it down too, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of a clearer goal. Maybe the goal this time is just, can I keep a steady pulse while shaping the music? Or can I land the transitions between phrases cleanly without just hurrying on to the next idea? See, that's already a completely different mindset. Now, I'm not trying to sound impressive here. I'm trying to build control. And this is the part that a lot of people skip. Because honestly, this kind of work, it feels less exciting than a full run through. But this is also the part where the actual improvement happens. If you want to get better, you have to practice in a more honest way. You have to be willing to interrupt yourself. You have to be willing to zoom in, and you have to be willing to work on something before it gets glamorous. And then, after that, you can start putting it back into context. Now, the point is not perfection in one session. The point is that you actually give yourself a chance to improve something. That is what real practice does. So if your current habit is, I sit down, I start at the beginning, I play to the end, maybe do that 2 or 3 times in a row, and then I call that a day, I want you to try something a little different. Next time you sit down, stop that very moment that something starts to unravel. Pick just one small section and figure out what your problem actually is. And then work on that one thing with intention. See, that's going to do way more than playing 3 full run-throughs. And I can promise you that. I mean, if you want any extra help on this, I actually put together a 30-day structured practice plan that walks you through exactly how to approach your time at the piano. You can grab that just below this video in the description. And if this is something that you struggle with, you're absolutely not alone. I see this all the time, especially with adult pianists who are committed, who are working hard, who genuinely do care, but we're just never really shown how to structure their practice in a way that leads to actual progress. Now, if this sounds like you, please subscribe, because that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm going to keep talking about right here. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how I would actually structure a short practice session so that you know how to do it with your time at the piano.